Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and in this video I'm going to share some information with you on the lovely little peppermint plant. Now, peppermint is one of those plants that many people are familiar with because not only have we used it for hundreds of years medicinally, but it flavors our food, we put it in skincare products, we drink it in teas and in other drinks, and it's something that adds a delicious, cooling flavor to many of the things that we consume. Now, there's a lot of scientifically backed research and evidence on all the health benefits of peppermint. So the information that I share with you is not meant to be medical advice. This is just meant to entertain and educate you. So as usual, always do your own due diligence when it comes to adding plants, plant medicine into your herbal apothecary and into the food and the consumption of yourself and your family. So peppermint is actually a hybrid between spearmint and watermint, and it was accidentally found in the wild, which is very fascinating. This was something I didn't know until I did a tiny bit of deeper research to bring this video to you. Peppermint originates from the Middle East and Europe, but now it grows all over the world. And I have personally cultivated and grown peppermint along with some of the other mints like spearmint, catnip, horse mint. A lot of these mints are super fun to grow in your yard because once they get established, not only do they come back every year, but they're actually considered invasive because they just can take over a whole spot. So if you are going to be growing some peppermint in your yard, you might want to contain it in a pot or in a contained garden space because it will take over. And unless that's something you wanted to do, my best advice is to contain it in some type of pot. Now, I have had places where I've lived where I've planted peppermint and even spearmint, and it was perfect for it to take over. And it's so nice to go off and clip off a couple of stalks of peppermint. The part of the plant you use are the leaves. Now, the stalks aren't typically used. They might add some fiber if you add them to your culinary dishes, but they won't add any medicinal benefits because all of the medicine of the peppermint lives in its leaves. And peppermint has a really high concentrate of menthol as compared to something like spearmint, which has less than 1%. So this is one of the reasons that peppermint is so well loved and really well known in things like candy cane. This is what gives it its super cooling effect, is the peppermint. Now, peppermint does a ton of things for your health, and most notably, one of my favorite things is what it does for digestion. Bloating, gas, irritable bowel syndrome. Simply drinking and sipping on peppermint tea, especially after a meal, can help improve digestion. In fact, every time my grandkids and a couple of my nieces have a sleepover, which has been very often over the years, they're preteens and very young teenagers right now. One of the traditions that we do is after dinner, before they go to bed, it's always brew up a cup of peppermint tea. And it's a lovely little tradition to get into because not only does it taste good and it's cooling, it can help with digestion and it can help with relaxation. So there's so many beautiful things to drinking teas, which is what I love. So here's a short list of some of my favorite things that peppermint does. So digestion and gut health, it's great for your lungs. So asthma, lung congestion, mucus in your lungs. In fact, peppermint is one of the ingredients that is in our very popular lung blend. This is a tincture that when you take it, this tincture I love taking straight because it has osha root, lungwort, mullein, plantain, the peppermint. And when you take it, you can literally feel it open your airways. And one of the things that helps do that is all those beautiful benefits of peppermint. So this is one of those things that you can actually feel the moment you take it. And this is one of the reasons I love a tincture, because a tincture goes in, it goes right to the bloodstream, and it just acts really quickly. So not just lung congestion, lung health, clearing mucus, but sinus congestion, sore throat, coughing, skin pain relief. We have got in our CBD rub and our CBD drops, there is peppermint essential oil for a reason. It does some really beautiful things. We also have peppermint in our liver love, which is also very popular. This is a capsule product, which is really good for supporting your liver. And if you think about the benefits of something like peppermint that goes in a blend with dandelion root, milk thistle, all the beautiful things that are there to support your liver, peppermint is in there to help just kind of tie all those beautiful properties together and support your liver as well. Now, we also put it in one more product, which is our mood and energy blends. So we have that in a glycerite and a capsule form. So there are so many reasons to look at this humble little herb called peppermint that supports all of these beautiful systems of our bodies. And like I said, I believe my favorite of these is digestion. Because if you think about the importance of when we eat something or drink something, especially eating something, our body's ability to digest it from chewing it all the way out the other side and all of the processes it has to go through, having something that can support the digestive process is super important. In fact, that's one of the things that I would say. If you are curious about adding something that could make a difference into your digestive health, get some really good organic peppermint tea and start having a cup of tea after you eat a meal, especially your end of the day meal. And try to eat your last meal of the day 2 or 3 hours before you go to bed, because then you're going to give your body a chance to go through the digestive process and, get things going and moving, and then you can go to bed and your body can focus on repair and rejuvenation. So if you've ever eaten a meal right before you go to bed, especially a heavy meal, if you've been to like a Christmas party or any type of late dinner celebration, and then you go to bed right after you eat, you know that that's not the most comfortable way to get a good night's sleep. So let peppermint tuck itself in there and be a very good friend for you. So here's some really cool things that it contains. So it contains the menthol, like I talked about, and in those oils that are in the peppermint, you've got antibacterial, antifungal, it's an antiseptic, and one of my favorite things is that it is cooling. So this is a beautiful, easy to grow plant in your yard. Like I said, it can take over an area of your yard, but you can contain it in a pot. If you live in an apartment, buy a little peppermint plant, put it in a pot on your balcony, and even just plucking the leaves off of this plant, rinsing them, putting them in a cup, and pouring boiling water over, and brewing up a cup of fresh peppermint tea will be one of the most delicious things that you do. I would love to know what you think about peppermint and peppermint essential oil and peppermint tea, and what drinks do you put it in? What foods do you cook with? There's always these beautiful recipes of making a beautiful meat dish and grinding up some greens like kale and some different mints. And I can't remember what the name of this is called, but there's a green sauce that goes over like a really good filet mignon or some type of other meat dish. I can't think of it right now, but I've had it 100 times. So here's the thing. Let me know what this is called. What is that sauce, that green sauce called that's put over different meat dishes? Many of them contain either peppermint, spearmint, or a different mint because of what it adds flavor-wise. And then you get all of the health benefits too. So thanks for tuning in today, guys, and we will see you in the next one.